In this video, we're going to go over how to allow your customers to subscribe to your site using Stripe. In essence, what we're going to do is we're going to have some JavaScript on our page that will take our form, submit the credit card information to Stripe, never touching our servers, gets a token back, and then that token will actually send to our server, and from there we'll process it and actually do the subscription. This is great for PCI compliance because it keeps the credit card information off of our servers and onto Stripe's, who is fully PCI compliant. So in order to get started with this, first we need to install the Stripe package with a pip install Stripe. And then we can just move on into working on our project. Let's do a list, and we have a demo project and we have a store app. The store app is where we're going to actually do our work in. And if we'll go ahead and open up the forms in our store app, we just have a simple Stripe form that has a Stripe token of a character field. That's the only thing that we really need to accept payment, because all that we're going to get is, and all that we're going to use is the token that Stripe is going to send us from its JavaScript call. So let's also go ahead and take a look in our views. We don't have anything there yet, but essentially what we need to do is we need to have the users fill out a form. So we're going to create a form view and call it subscribe view. This is going to use the generic class-based view of form view. We'll give it our template of store subscribe HTML. We'll give it our form of Stripe form, and then we'll give it our success URL, a thank you. The form valid and form invalid will fill in here in a minute. Go ahead and import our form. Now let's go ahead and make our success view. So I already have the URLs configured for this. Can I take a look at those here? We have /store/subscribe. It's going to use our subscribe view, and we're naming it subscribe, and our /store/thank you uses the success view that we have created. One of the things though that we need in our template that we'll get to here in a second is we need a publishable key that we get from Stripe. You can just create your account, log in, and in your account settings you can get your keys. And in this case, we put it in our settings file, but we need to actually include this in our subscribe view. So we're going to create a Stripe mixin, and we're going to override our get context data to add the publishable key and get our Stripe publishable key from our settings file. And this just gives us the ability to have this key on whatever template we use this mixin on. So we need to go ahead and add this mixin to our subscribe view. That's all we really need to get to a point where we can actually view our page and start the process of accepting money. So let's go ahead and take a look at our subscribe template. And the first thing that you notice is we have a whole bunch of JavaScript. This is actual JavaScript that you would get from Stripe when they have Stripe.js. First you import JavaScript from the js.stripe.com, and then the first thing you do is you set that publishable key that we used with our mixin. Next, there is a Stripe response handler, and this is a method that we're actually going to pass in to our create token down later, so that on success or error of our getting a token, it will process properly. If it's erroring, it's going to go ahead and do an alert and give you the reason. And if it's true, it's going to add a hidden input field to our form named Stripe_token, which is what we need for our form on the back end. And then finally it submits it. So if we go a little further, you'll have the jQuery section. It grabs the actual form that we have. And then once you click it, it goes ahead and disables the button so you can't repeatedly click it. It calls the Stripe.createToken and passes our form in, and then passes the JavaScript handler that we just created. So after everything gets done processing it, it uses the callback and calls the Stripe response handler. All that create token stuff is Stripe specific code, and it does what it does, which is it takes the information from our form, pulls it out, and sends it to Stripe. They then save it to their database and sends us a token back so it knows how to reference it later. So now that we have a general understanding of how the token creation works, let's go ahead and look at how it gets the data for its token. So if we scroll down, we'll see our form here. And in the middle of all these chunks, we have input fields. We have our first one, which is a text input, and it has data-stripe equals a number. All of these form elements are going to have data-stripe, And then whatever the value of that is what it's going to use to set the correct information when it does the create token. In this case, number means it's going to be the card number. If you'll go down a little more, you have expiration month and expiration year. Those are the expiration dates of the card. And then you have a CVC. And then finally you have your submit button. And that's it. That's all you need with using Stripe.js to be able to accept payments. However, there is a little bit of an issue sometimes where you're not getting enough information and sending it for it to verify. That's not all that common, but if you do run into it, there are other fields that you can add in place so it has more to verify with. But these are all optional. So if we'll take a look at them, we have the name field, so we have name of the person on the card. We have address line 1, address line 2. We have the city, state, zip, and country. These are all extra fields to allow you to have better verification and validation of the credit card. And again, these particular ones are optional. All you really need is the number, the expiration, and that CVC code. So at this point, we have all of our main stuff done. We have our form, we have our view, we have our template set up. The only thing we have left to do is actually do something with our token. So let's go ahead and look at doing that now. Jump back into our view, go ahead and look at our form valid method. The first thing that we need to do is we need to set our API key. We'll set it to our Stripe secret key that we set in our settings file. In order for us to allow a customer to subscribe, we need to actually have a customer on Stripe servers. So to do that, we're actually going to need to create a Stripe customer. So we're going to create a dictionary with the description of the customer and then the card. And we're going to grab that token that we passed in from our form. And then from there, we're going to call stripe.customer.create. And we're going to pass in that dictionary using the double stars to unpack it so it sends it in as keyword arguments. And that's it. With that, we've created the customer object and associated a credit card with them. So from now on, if we reference this customer, and as long as their card is valid, we can charge them every month for the subscription. Or if they choose, and you want to do some one-off charges, you can do that as well. So the next step is to actually go ahead and have them subscribe to something. So we're going to take that customer object that we just created. We're going to take our subscriptions and we're going to create a subscription. Every subscription needs to have a plan, which you can easily define in using the Stripe control panel. It's not hard. You go in and you set the plan name and how much you want it to cost. Then you come in here and you pass it as a keyword argument into the create of these subscriptions. In this case, we have basic plan, and that's it. At this point, you have a customer object. That customer is successfully subscribed to the basic plan, and you have gone ahead and charged them whatever the amount that you have set. So from there, we need to just go ahead and finish off our form valid so that it actually returns to the right location. So as a recap, we have a form that takes a Stripe token. We have a form view, and in that form view, we're setting our mixin so that we get our publishable key. We have the subscribe template, and that subscribe template sets the publishable key for the JavaScript. We have our form that we fill out, and it, on submission, calls Stripe servers, creates a token, saves the credit card information on Stripe servers, passes that token back to us. We then pass that to our server, create a customer, and then subscribe that customer to our basic plan. And then once that's done, we redirect to our thank you page. So let's actually go ahead and see that in action. So this is our Stripe overview using our test environment in Stripe. As you can see, there's nothing that's been charged and there are no customers. Let's go ahead and go over and fill out and subscribe. So we'll do a name, an address, do our city, state, and zip. And then finally, we need to do a card. If you do 4242 4 times, then this is the credit card you have for a successful charge of a credit card. They have multiple variations of this to allow for different scenarios, like a credit card declination or an expired credit card or some other, other different types of scenarios. I suggest you look at the documentation to see these so that you can code for different scenarios. In this case, this is just for a successful charge. We set our expiration to sometime in the future, and then we just do a random set of numbers for our CVC. Go ahead and submit, and there we go. We have our thank you for subscribing page. So let's just go ahead and jump back over to Stripe and refresh the page, and there we go. We have a $9 charge. We have a customer created, and we have seen that we have successfully charged. If we look over here at our customers, you go to the top, you have some customer data. It's set to the name, and then long string is basically the ID set for that customer. That's what you would save off into your database, so you have a reference point for that later. And that's really it. We've successfully created a customer and subscribed them to our service. I hope you'll give it a shot and experiment and play. Join us in the next Stripe video where we'll actually go ahead and use a library to make this a lot easier. We'll expand off of our current implementation because 90% of what we just did we'll need in the future. Everything else will just make things easier.